In China, there is an ancient proverb, 富不過三代, meaning that wealth doesn't pass 3 generations. For years, it served as a cautionary tale of how difficult it is sometimes for wealth to pass beyond generations.
In Hong Kong, 4 dynasties dominate the property sector, each worth tens of billions of dollars.
Property is the religion of Hong Kong.
But now, one of these seemingly untouchable dynasties is in crisis.
Hong Kong developer New World jolts creditors by delaying bond payment.
They've had 2 different CEOs in the last couple of months. There's a succession issue here.
Adrian stepping down was shocking because in traditional Hong Kong tycoon families, family members are very important, and the eldest son is the most important member of all the children.
Over the last decade, heir apparent Adrian Cheng played a pivotal role in rapidly expanding New World's properties, and in the process, racked up billions of dollars of debt. A string of recent misfortunes, some within the company's control and some not, have hit New World's share price hard. Now it's working to refinance about $11 billion of debt. At the centre is a Hong Kong dynasty uncertain about its future, trying to navigate China's ongoing property crisis. In Hong Kong, 45-year-old Adrian Cheng is a celebrity.
If you go to Adrian's Instagram account, you could see photos of him with pop stars like BLACKPINK members and even with the French President Macron.
Educated at Harvard, he's a prominent figure in the art and culture scene.
He incorporated a lot of artworks into his developments, including residential developments and a lot of luxury shopping malls.
That can be seen here on the Victoria Harbour waterfront at the K11 Museum Mall. And not just seen.
The first thing you notice is the smell. And that smell is kind of sweet. And as I know, this very smell is created by Adrian himself.
It took Cheng 10 years, a whole lot of perfume, and $2.6 billion to bring the project together. But the art mall is just the tip of the spending iceberg.
He acquired an insurance business and he invested in healthcare, and he also really doubled down on retail.
We have spent over 30 billion in acquiring 1.5 million square meter of land. And a lot of people will ask me, why will you be putting so much eggs in Greater Bay? It's 5% of China's population, but 13% of the GDP of China.
New World Development is a sprawling company with commercial and residential projects across Hong Kong and mainland China, which the company says are worth $54 billion. And all that property comes with massive debts. New World borrowed big in the late 2010s. But at the time, investors cheered Cheng on. The company's share price climbed. It looked like a continuation of the Cheng family's successes, which began with Adrian's late grandfather. Cheng Yu-tong fled from Guangdong in southern China during World War II and arrived in Hong Kong in 1945, working at a gold store called Chow Tai Fook.
The gold shop became very successful because of the population boom. With the capital from the gold shop, Cheng went into real estate.
The 70s and 80s were boom years for Hong Kong's property magnates. Fast forward to the 2010s, and Adrian began to take control of New World Development. He felt the company needed a makeover.
New World at the time became a more high-end brand that really catered and appealed to the more sophisticated middle class who wanted their real estate or wanted their homes to look more different, more high class, and that really succeeded.
But the party couldn't last forever. Hong Kong's fortunes were about to take a turn. Protests over the increasing influence of Beijing on the city began in March 2019. That June, an estimated 2 million people took to the streets to oppose the direction of the Hong Kong government. Police and security services cracked down.
China introduced a very controversial national security law in Hong Kong, and that had an impact on Hong Kong's reputation.
Then, in a double punch to confidence, COVID struck. Hong Kong locked down, global business slowed.
Hong Kong's economy was battered, and even after COVID, Hong Kong's economy was finding it hard to recover. Tourists are not coming back as much as before.
Cheng's luxury vision was facing the harsh reality of a changed and diminished Hong Kong. And all that debt, well, it started to become a problem. Look at this red line. New World's debt reached 95% of its equity at the end of 2024, well ahead of its competitors.
And it was around that time when people started to realize that, hang on, New World's expansion plan dated back in 2017 and 2018 might have contributed to this heavy debt level.
The market woke up to just how bad the situation was looking at New World. The company's bonds, debt which they sell to the market, plummeted in price. Investors figured they were unlikely to get all their money back. Cheng's father, who was New World's chairman, stepped back into the spotlight. In a rare interview on local Hong Kong TV, he suggested the previously unthinkable. Adrian might not be the one to take over the family business.
揾呢個人呢，唔係易揾。如果揾到呢，我就非常之高興嘅。
Adrian Zhang was widely expected to be the successor of the whole family group. And then news came that Adrian would step down as CEO in New World after, leading the group into its first losses in 2 decades.
People were like, oh my God. When you say New World, people think of Adrian Cheng and vice versa. That had lasted for more than a decade.
Adrian Cheng's investments, at first seen by analysts and investors as innovative, were now being judged as overextending New World.
At the time, everyone was praising Adrian. And then now, in hindsight, everyone is saying, oh, of course, he shouldn't have.
Adrian's position as heir apparent is now in question. His 3 other siblings have taken up key roles across the family business, none more prominent than his younger sister, Sonia Cheng. She runs the family's original jewelry empire and the hospitality side of the company, including the Carlyle in New York and the Hotel de Crillon in Paris. With Henry back at the helm, he and the new CEO will need to nurse the company back to financial health as China's property crisis drags on.
China right now is experiencing an economic slowdown because of all the trade tensions and its own economic issue, including a real estate slump and very high youth unemployment rate.
New World's debt-fueled expansion is now a warning to Hong Kong's other property tycoons, and a reminder that keeping business in the family has its challenges. According to a 2024 UBS study, about half of family businesses in Asia will change hands over the next 5 years. That's over $1 trillion in company value, moving generations.
New World's Zhang family is really one of the first Hong Kong tycoon families that are handing the businesses to the 3rd generation. We're talking about billions of dollars being handed to the 3rd generation. So for other tycoon families whose businesses are now still very much in control of the 2nd generation, they will be looking closely at what's happening in the Zhang family.